Thank you, Chair, and I also thank the organizers for inviting me here to give my views on Kumbh as an epitome of survival of humanity in a mechanized world. And I also congratulate the organizers for organizing such an important conclave on a very, very topical issue. The paper reflects on the spiritual essence of Kumbh in an era of globalization. In today's fast-paced world where people are often seen as becoming so self-engrossed and at times even inhuman in what is called Kali, Kumbh comes across as an epitome of survival of humanity in a global order. You can see many incidents where people are getting angry or willing to kill each other, even the slightest of provocation. Road rage cases in Delhi is an example of that. So basically, human life's values actually become negligible. So in such a scenario, Kumbh symbolizes spirituality, which is an intrinsic value of Bhartiya Sanskar, and billions of people across the earth are learning from India. So it has become a subject of academic inquiry, Kumbh Mela. In fact, scholars from different disciplines, including political science, which is mine, geographers, people engaged in religious studies, tourism studies, are taking all the more interest in Kumbh studies. Even foreigners, for example, we have many speakers. We have many thinkers, including Hudson and Jackson. They actually mentioned that pilgrimage travel, that is the Kumbh we are talking about, actually combines religious devotion as well as touristic pleasure. So it has become a universal phenomena, and people actually feel very jubilant with this kind of commemoration. Now, the paper will be divided into two sections. Very quickly, I will just touch upon the historical and the cultural origins of Kumbh. Then I'll come to the significance of Kumbh in a liberalized global order. And then finally, I'll be talking about the civilizational values which are associated with Kumbh, highlighting the contemporary actually talks about how you can remove your bad karma, and this passage will achieve a high passage of spirituality which becomes possible, and people can attain the higher level of divinity. So we can also talk about how it has become such an important factor of faith where people across the world they actually come to India. In fact, historically, अगर आप देखेंगे तो Chinese traveler, the state government of the hosting, which is hosting the Kumbh Mela, actually earns huge revenue from the festival, and the estimates actually highlight that the event generate business amounting to about more than $2,000 million US dollars, you know. So recognizing this popularity, the Kumbh Mela also exhibits the power of spirituality, religion, and actually unite the people belonging to different socio-economic backgrounds, bringing them together to participate in rituals. So we can always say that Santa's civilizational values are associated with Kumbh, which are passed on from one generation to another generation, resulting in magnanimity and harmony of the event, which is transcendental in itself, you know. So Kumbh Mela can be said as the largest congregation of humanity, largest concentration of religious gathering in the world, where people actually take a dip based on pure faith, you know, and actually try to unburden their sins, achieving nirvana, which is coming out of the vicious cycle of birth and rebirth. And this dip in the holy Ganga actually help in spirituality, faith, belief, and psychological peace.
to live among the saints during this period who have dedicated their life to meditation, fulfilling spiritual deeds is indeed a unique experience for all the people who are involved in Kumbh or who come as pilgrims to Kumbh. And there are many such ashrams where tourists can actually stay and enjoy the life or at least see the life of a saint and indulging in various yoga, meditation regimes and which actually purifies and give peace to mind and soul, resulting in peaceful activities. And listening to divine lectures, participating in cultural programs are just one of the few activities which people actually engage in coming to Kumbh Mela. And as the sun comes up during the Kumbh Mela, different groups of saints, they actually move in procession towards the river to take a bath. And this movement is absolutely magical. If you view this movement with your eyes, it's absolutely magical and everyone actually gets absorbed in this. So Kumbh Mela is one of the oldest and the largest congregation of Indian civilization. And it's more of a congregation than a festival, you know, if you see it from this point of view. So that means it's not confined to one particular religion or a faith. And well, Indian thought and practices over time immemorial have actually resulted in where people actually remember, reunite with the universe and the scientific divinities of the universe. These festivals, they actually have become gateways for people to reach out and be in communion with the God, with the divinity. In fact, I'll just quote one very important quotation from Mark Twain. I'm sure most of us are aware who Mark Twain was, the celebrated author. He wrote in his book, Following the Equator, A Journey Around the World, about his experience in visiting the Kumbh Mela. And I quote in his words, "It is wonderful, the power and faith like that can make multitudes upon multitudes of the old and weak, young and frail, enter without hesitation or complaint upon such incredible journeys and endure the resultant miseries without repining. It is done in love or done in fear, I do not know, which it is. No matter what the impulse is, the fact is that the act born of it is beyond imagination, marvelous to our kind of people, the cold whites." The quotation highlights the difference between our civilization, our spirituality, which has been admitted and accepted by the people who belong to other countries, that how their individualism has taken over them, and they come to India to seek salvation, to seek moksha, to actually being impressed by our collectivism and our communitarianism. So purpose of Kumbh Mela is kind of to have a confluence, at the confluence of the water bodies, that is the Sangam, to stay there for a period of 3 months and to discuss in that period various aspects, various interpretations, aspects and relevance of societal problems, the problems that are faced by the society of that generation, and the solutions to find within Dharma. That's very important, solutions within Dharma. So the primary purpose of Kumbh Mela has also been interaction among the people, and through these festivals, our ancient festivals, it has shown how one can experience knowledge and put it to proper use. So Kumbh has multifaceted values: spirituality, that is the motive of pilgrims; spiritual connectivity, devotion, which is attainment of spiritual knowledge from saints as seekers, and social unity. So it's both spirituality as well as social unity, because social unity includes one serves oneself by engaging in meditation, prayers, listening to spiritual discourse, and then one is awakened, then one gets engaged in serving the society. So it allows one to connect with the spirit, to connect with the self, and awakens their consciousness to achieve inner peace, reflection, introspection, calmness inside from the chaotic world, and through satsang, you know. And in such a way, it's kind of a new beginning, spiritual harmony, resolving daily conflicts, serving others. In fact, you may have seen various incidents where people have the foreigners or the other people who come from outside country, they have been offered food, water by the Indians, what is called Atiti Devo Bhava. So that itself highlights, you know, the importance of our spirituality, devotion, satisfaction that we get by serving our guests. There's another study by Christian Buzande where the author actually argues that this essence is absent in the Western society, which is more individualistic and which is there in the collective orientation and resulting in universal brotherhood, That's very important. And another final study which I'll be quoting, and I'll be winding up in about last 2 minutes. McLean in 2009, he actually attended Kumbh, and he said that their culture is very, very materialistic, spiritless, and more like a machine. Whereas Indian culture, Indian spirituality is actually opens up a lot of people boundaries, opens up boundaries of meditation, replace sentiments of despair with love, with hope, and finally, it results in actually bringing about happiness in life. And the final example I'll give you about an Indian writing where psychological well-being is associated with Kumbh. That is, person who actually comes to Kumbh, receives so much happiness that it becomes a part of integration, becomes a part of collective engagement with the religious activities. So in the final, I would be saying that in order to understand the true meaning, in order to understand the knowledge and the spirit, how we do things, why we do things, to have a new beginning in life, to have a union with nature, harmony with one another, Kumbh is very, very important. In fact, India today is rising as a global power, and its metaphysical philosophy plays a critical role in it. In 2017, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, we know it as UNESCO, actually recognized Kumbh Mela as intangible cultural heritage, which itself highlights the significance attached to the age-old tradition. And apart from spirituality, now it has been widened to include the economic and the environmental aspects, which is called Green Eco-Friendly Kumbh Mela, where a lot of NGOs, lot of government organizations, school institutions and ministries are actually taking up Green Kumbh initiative to beautify the Kumbh, its environment, protecting the health and the well-being of the people, in addition to spread awareness and education about the importance of spirituality and the Green Kumbh, and motivating the festival goers to be spiritually active. So Kumbh is becoming all the more important as seekers from across the globe are looking towards humaneness and benevolence of Indian culture in search of tranquility, stress-free life in a post-materialistic world. It binds humanity way beyond the consideration of individualism and community, providing them true meaning of life, a way of life. Thank you.